The mere fact that the domesticated horse is supposed to have originated in some particular area does not make it necessary that the Indo-Europeans, because of the cultural and religious significance of the horse in their traditions, should also have migrated from that area. All that the evidence suggests is that the domesticated horse, whatever its geographical origins, had probably become known to the Indo-Europeans at a time when their unity had not yet broken up completely. In fact, if the actual equine evidence is assessed in terms of circumstantial arguments, especially arguments based on plausibility and simplicity, we find that it militates strongly against the view that horses were brought into India somewhere around 1500 BCE by immigrating Aryans. To begin with, as Hawke himself puts it, the question whether the archaeological evidence supports the view that domesticated horses were a feature of the Harappan civilization is still being debated. If horses were present in the Harappan civilization in the 3rd millennium BCE or earlier, and the archaeological evidence for this is at least as strong for the Harappan sites as for any other areas in the Indian subcontinent and on its borders postulated as part of the AIT scenario, this itself deals a death blow to any equine argument. The idea that Indo-Europeans domesticated the wild horse on the steppes of the Ukraine is totally inconsistent with the linguistic evidence. The common reconstructed PIE word for the domesticated horse, *ekwo, has no accepted Indo-European etymology, and the word, moreover, specifically refers to the domesticated horse, and there is no common Indo-European word for the wild horse. Therefore, far from suggesting that the Indo-European homeland is to be located in the area of domestication of the horse, the linguistic evidence suggests exactly the opposite. The Indo-European homeland has to be localized at the area where the wild horse did not live. The idea that invading Indo-Aryans entered India, bringing the horse with them, and introduced the animal into India, is also totally inconsistent with the linguistic evidence. As pointed out in my first book, Sanskrit has many words for the horse: Ashva, Arvant or Arva, Haya, Vajan, Sapti, Taranga, Kilvi, Prasalaka and Gataka, to name the most prominent among them. And yet, the Dravidian languages show no trace of having borrowed any of these words. They have their own words Kudurai, Peri and Ma etc. The Sandali and Mundari languages, however, have preserved the original Kolmunda word Satam. Not only has no linguist ever claimed that the Dravidian and Kolmunda words for horse are borrowed from Aryan words, but in fact some linguists have even sought to establish that Sanskrit Gataka, from which all modern Indo-Aryan words are derived, is borrowed from the Kolmunda languages. And note the following suggestion: the lack of a clear Proto-Indo-European word for donkey, given the presence of domesticated donkeys throughout most of the territory where horses were domesticated and where the Indo-European tribes must have lived, can be explained by assuming that the PIE word for horse, equos, was originally used with the meaning donkey as well as wild horse. What is significant is that Gamkralids offers this suggestion to explain the lack of a clear PIE word for the donkey found in the same areas as the wild horse, for which also there is no separate PIE word. But the real explanation for both is different. There is no clear PIE word for the donkey, as there is no word for the wild horse, since the PIE speakers lived in an area where the wild horse did not live, and nor did the domesticated donkey, i.e. they lived in Central and Eastern Asia, where paleozoological data show that the domesticated donkey is a recent introduction. In short, the relevance of the equine argument, in any debate on the AIT and OIT, is absolutely zero, and it will continue to remain a big zero until someone produces evidence to show an archaeological trail of horse finds in archaeological sites independently and conclusively identified as associated with immigrating Indo-Aryans, leading from the Ukraine or wherever into Central Asia, and thence into the northwestern parts of India, and then further into the interior of India in the time frames attributed to the alleged Aryan immigrations. Till then, any serious OIT writer will be justified in dismissing any equine argument as so much hot air.